Now we've completed an inspection via the public interface, we're going to have a look at some of the artifacts that have been created from that inspection. I've also done just another one and failed some items just so we can have a look. But firstly, on the brigade dashboard, you'll start to see some of this information come about now. So we've got 3 inspections completed this month, 2 open actions, and we can see the recent activity starting to populate. So we can see some inspections were completed here. And we've got some action items that have been created as well. So when you log in as a brigade administrator, you'll start to see some of this information populating. But if we go to our inspections dashboard, we'll also see that this has now started to populate with some additional information. As I mentioned, this interface will get more and more information as more features, as actions become overdue, as hoses and hydrants become overdue, etc. So we can see we just got a bit of quality measurement over our inspections. So we did on our template, we set, I think, 20 or 30 minutes. So you can see that the system's determining that those inspections were probably rushed because we just clicked through them, in a matter of minutes. So it's a good way to potentially gauge if members are actually, doing a thorough inspection of vehicles. We can also see some items expiring soon. So you can see basically on the pumper, the ration packs, 5 of those, their expiry date is in 4 days. So an action has been created and we can view that action from here. You can see the little guide down here, as I said, once something is 30 to 90 days, it will give you a notification that an expiry is imminent, but it will not create an action. You do have the option here to create an action for that expiring item if you wanted to, or once it goes beyond the 30 days, it will automatically create the action. So we can see some of that information starting to form. You'll also see we've got a little notification counter here next to our 3 actions. So if we click into our actions screen, what we can see, we've got 2 actions arising from inspections. We've got 1 from stock. So I did actually deplete the stock below the threshold in one of the inspections. So you can see P2 masks has fallen below target. So we've got 18 left. We're meant to have a minimum of 20 in stock. So that needs to be dealt with. We've also got a emergency beacons marked as fail on Bayside Pumper. And our ration pack one here is also flagged as an action item because they are within the 30 days of expiry. So what we can do is basically click into our action. So we can see some additional information here. We can see the notes that the inspector has put on that. So red beacons are not working. It was flagged by Emily Harris. So you could go and speak to that member if you wanted. So we can do a couple of things from this point. So we can update this and assign it to someone. So we can say this is in progress. We've assigned that to Joe Smith. We expect it to be fixed by the end of the week. Contacted mechanics to attend. So we'll update that. What we can also do is this out of service section. So this is to combat a problem that we continually saw where items may have failed or need replacement and been removed from vehicles. And waiting for replacements to arrive, members would continually mark that item as failed, even though we were aware that that item had been removed from the vehicle. So what we can actually do now is mark this out of service. So we can say, aware of failure, have contacted mechanics. So what will actually happen here is when a member gets to this question on the public inspection interface, they won't actually be able to answer that question at all. It'll actually appear orange and it'll put in the reason. So we'll mark that out of service. So you can see we've got this here. If we update this action and mark it as completed or closed, it will automatically reinstate this for us. Alternatively, we can manually reinstate this item into service as well. So that will start appearing on those vehicle inspections again. If we go back to our actions, so we'll get our P2 masks in here. So we might restock these. So we can come into our masks, we'll restock, we'll say that we bought 22 of these, and we'll restock that back into over the threshold. So where target was 20, we're now back at 40. So that item has been resolved because we've restocked that item. So it's automatically closed itself out. If someone did actually have to go and order those P2 masks, you could assign that task to them and say, hey, can you reorder, X number of masks, and then they would be able to restock that when that arrives. So we've marked this as in progress, and then we've got our ration packs here as well. So, much the same, we can update that action and do those things from this particular interface as well. If we just jump back over to our public interface for a second, you'll see we've flagged some items. So the system is automatically telling people when they visit this vehicle page, hey, the emergency beacons are marked as failed and not working, and the ration packs are expiring in 4 days. So we're just notifying members that this is the situation. But if we do now come back in here and we'll put in Emily and we'll do a pumper check, what we'll actually see now is that this emergency beacons question is marked out of service. We're aware of the failure. This has been marked out of service, does not require a response. So as I said, at the time that we now reinstate that item, that question will become active again in our inspection. But the aim of this is to really ensure that we're not continually getting actions and reports created about the same things that have failed once an action has been created and steps have been taken to actually resolve that particular issue. So that's just one of the things that differs slightly about our inspection process and our actions compared to some other tools that people may be familiar with using. But that's effectively our action interface. We can also set things past their due date as well. So if we update this action item here, and we'll actually just set that we'll set that back to say the first. This is now an overdue action. So you'll see it's gone red and says overdue. If we come back to our inspections dashboard, we've now got a overdue action. The system will also remind any assignees and the brigade admin that overdue actions exist once a week. So there is a notification that goes out and says, hey, this is assigned to you and it's overdue, and also an overdue action report to brigade members as well, along with some other email notifications in terms of inspections completed and things like that. So basically, anything that the members are doing interacting with the platform will generate email notification alongside overdue actions as well.